Imagine Britain, an island kingdom shrouded in mystery. A land where the past whispers through the mist and the echoes of ancient times linger in the air. We often think of its long history filled with kings and queens, castles and battles. These are the stories that have shaped our understanding of this island's past. But the story of Britain goes back much further, to a time long before recorded history. A time when the land was wild and untamed, covered in dense forests and vast plains. This is a story of a time when humans vanished from this land, leaving behind only whispers of their existence. Stone tools and ancient campsites are the silent witnesses to a forgotten era. For 15,000 years, an almost unimaginable span of time, Britain was empty of people. The land lay silent, untouched by human hands, a blank canvas waiting for the return of its inhabitants. This was no ordinary disappearance. It was a complete absence, a blank page in the human story of this island. The reasons for this vanishing act are as mysterious as the land itself. It was a complete absence, a blank page in the human story of this island. The land, once teeming with life, became a silent witness to the passage of time. This period, from around 180,000 to 60,000 years ago, falls within the Pleistocene epoch, better known as the Ice Age, a time when the world was gripped by cold and ice. During this time, vast ice sheets, sometimes miles thick, advanced and retreated across the northern hemisphere, dramatically reshaping the landscape and impacting life in ways we can only imagine. The ice carved out valleys and shaped mountains, leaving a lasting mark on the land. But why did humans vanish from Britain during this time? What drove them away from this land they once called home? The answers lie buried in the ice and the earth, waiting to be uncovered. And what brought them back? As the ice began to melt and the land started to thaw, humans returned to Britain, drawn by the promise of new opportunities and a fresh start. This is the story of their return, a tale of resilience and survival in the face of unimaginable challenges. To understand this mystery, we must first journey back to a time when the world was a very different place. Between 1 million and 10,000 years ago, the Earth experienced a series of glacial cycles, with colder glacial periods interspersed with warmer interglacial periods. During these glacial periods, temperatures plummeted and vast ice sheets expanded outwards from the polar regions. These ice sheets acted like giant bulldozers, carving out valleys, grinding down mountains, and dramatically altering the Earth's landscape. Britain, situated on the edge of the Eurasian ice sheet, was particularly vulnerable to these changes. As temperatures fell, the ice sheet advanced, engulfing the land in a thick layer of ice. Sea levels dropped, connecting Britain to mainland Europe and creating a vast icy plain where the North Sea now lies. Evidence suggests that humans had already reached Britain by this time. Simple stone tools and the butchered remains of animals, dating back almost 1 million years, have been found in places like Happisburgh on the Norfolk coast. These early Britons, likely a species of early human called Homo antecessor, were skilled hunters and gatherers, adapted to the challenges of life in a cold, unforgiving environment. But around 180,000 years ago, the evidence of their presence disappears from the archaeological record. No tools, no hearths, no bones, nothing remains to indicate that humans continued to inhabit Britain during this period. It's as if they simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a silent, empty land. So, what happened to these early Britons? The most likely explanation is that the increasingly harsh climatic conditions forced them to abandon their home. As the ice sheet advanced and temperatures continued to fall, life in Britain would have become increasingly difficult. The winters would have been long and brutally cold, with little sunlight and scarce resources. The summers would have been short and cool, offering little respite from the relentless cold. Food would have become increasingly difficult to find, as plants withered and animals migrated south in search of warmer climes. Faced with these challenges, these early humans likely made the difficult decision to move on, following the herds of animals southwards to warmer, more hospitable regions. Section 5. Seeking greener pastures. Another possibility is that these early humans were drawn away from Britain by the lure of better hunting grounds or more favorable conditions elsewhere. With Britain connected to mainland Europe by a land bridge, movement between the two would have been relatively easy. It's possible that these early humans simply followed the animals they hunted, or perhaps they were attracted by reports of more abundant resources and less challenging conditions in other parts of Europe. Whatever the reason, the evidence suggests that Britain was completely abandoned by humans around 180,000 years ago, remaining uninhabited for the next 15,000 years. Section 6. The Return. Around 60,000 years ago, as the climate began to warm and the ice sheets retreated, humans once again set foot on British soil. This marked a significant moment in the history of human migration and adaptation. The warming climate created new opportunities for survival and exploration, allowing humans to venture into previously uninhabitable regions. These newcomers, likely Neanderthals, were a different species of human, more robust and better adapted to the cold than their predecessors. Their physical build and resilience were key to their survival in the harsh, fluctuating climates of prehistoric Britain. They were not just survivors but pioneers, pushing the boundaries of human endurance and adaptability. They brought with them new tools and technologies, including sophisticated hunting techniques and the ability to control fire. These advancements were crucial for their survival, providing them with the means to hunt more effectively and stay warm in the frigid conditions. The mastery of fire in particular was a revolutionary step in human evolution, offering warmth, protection, and a method to cook food. They established themselves in various parts of Britain, leaving behind evidence of their presence in caves, rock shelters, and open-air sites. These archaeological sites provide a window into their daily lives, showcasing their ingenuity and adaptability. The remnants of their tools, hearths, and shelters tell a story of a resilient people who thrived in a challenging environment. However, their time in Britain was not without its challenges. The environment was often unforgiving, with harsh weather conditions and limited resources. Survival required constant adaptation and innovation. The climate during this period was still highly variable, with periods of relative warmth interspersed with colder spells. These fluctuations demanded a high level of resilience and flexibility from the Neanderthals, as they had to continuously adjust to the changing conditions. Around 25,000 years ago, temperatures plummeted once again, marking the onset of the last glacial maximum, the coldest period of the last ice age. This dramatic shift in climate would have posed significant challenges, testing the limits of their survival strategies and pushing them to the brink of their endurance. Section 7. The Last Glacial Maximum. The last glacial maximum saw the ice sheets reach their greatest extent, covering much of northern Europe in a thick blanket of ice. Britain, once again on the front line of these changes, experienced extremely cold and dry conditions. The landscape would have been transformed into a polar desert, with little vegetation and limited resources. This extreme cold forced the Neanderthals to retreat southwards, seeking refuge in more hospitable regions. Once again, Britain was emptied of its human inhabitants, becoming a frozen wasteland inhabited only by hardy Arctic animals. Section 8. A Lasting Legacy. The story of this 15,000-year human absence from Britain is a powerful reminder of the challenges our ancestors faced and the remarkable resilience of the human spirit. It highlights the profound impact of climate change on human history and the importance of adaptation and migration in the face of environmental challenges. It also underscores the interconnectedness of life on Earth, as humans and animals alike were forced to adapt to the ever-changing conditions of the Pleistocene epoch. Section 9. Traces of the Past. Today, evidence of this fascinating period in Britain's prehistory can be found at various archaeological sites across the country. These sites are not just remnants of the past, they are windows into the lives of our distant ancestors, offering invaluable insights into their daily existence, their struggles, and their triumphs. From the tools they used to the art they created, every artifact tells a story that has been waiting to be uncovered for thousands of years. At Happisburgh, on the Norfolk coast, the footprints of early humans, dating back almost 1 million years, provide a poignant reminder of our earliest ancestors. These footprints, preserved in the sand, are among the oldest evidence of human life in Europe. They offer a direct connection to the people who once walked these lands, hunting, gathering, and surviving in a world vastly different from our own. At Creswell Crags, on the border of Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire, a series of caves and rock shelters preserve evidence of Neanderthal occupation, including tools, animal bones, and even engravings on cave walls. These caves were not just shelters, they were homes, places where families lived and worked. where they created art and left behind traces of their existence. The engravings on the cave walls are particularly fascinating, offering a glimpse into the minds of these ancient people and their capacity for creativity and expression. These sites offer a fascinating glimpse into the lives of these ancient people and the challenges they faced in a world on the edge of an ice age. The tools and bones found at these sites tell us about their diet, their hunting practices, and their ability to adapt to a changing environment. The cave engravings, on the other hand, reveal their artistic side, their need to communicate, and perhaps even their spiritual beliefs. By studying these sites and piecing together the fragments of evidence, we can begin to understand the story of Britain's vanished people and the enduring legacy of the Ice Age. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle, helping us to build a more complete picture of our past. The work of archaeologists and researchers is crucial in this endeavor as they meticulously analyze each artifact, each bone, and each engraving, bringing the story of our ancestors to life.